But then guess what? The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go out. And their job, Gog and Magog, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that latter years is now, but it's not based on Revelation 20. It's letting you know it's after when, brothers? 1,000-year reign. Go ahead. But then guess what? The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go out. And their job, Gog and Magog, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that latter years is now, but it's not based on Revelation 20. It's letting you know it's after when, brothers? 1,000-year reign. Go ahead.
All right, man. Wow. First and foremost, Kohala, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and infinite salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad, doing this work in truth and in sincerity, teaching the names of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and prophesying against Mount Seir, which is today known as America, also known as Mystery Babylon the Great. All right. And you know, now, you know, this guy, Bishop Nathaniel, you know, pulling a fast one yet again, you know, speaking some false prophecies. And it's only getting worse, man, you know, waxing worse and worse concerning his understanding. You know, at first there was no Jacob's trouble, you know, the mark of the beast wasn't the charagma, and now this nonsense. You know, now they're saying that after 1,000 years in the kingdom of heaven, Gog and Magog, they're going to come together and they're going to try to take us down yet again. And this is 1,000 years into the kingdom, man. So this is what happens when you have a lack of understanding. All right, and all the elders, the apostles, bishops have been doing lessons on this. So make sure to tune in into their lessons, man. And really, we should all be doing lessons on this, man. This is nonsense. This is absurd. All right, so I got some scriptures, you know. First and foremost, let me open up with this. This is Matthew 7:15. It says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. All right, and time again, you know, Bishop Nathaniel of the IUIC has been made himself to be known as to be a false prophet, man. You know, lest he repent and, you know, backtrack everything he said, but he's already falsely prophesied a lot of things, man. And now this is the newest thing, which is 1,000 years into the kingdom of heaven. While we're in rulership, Yahweh Shai came back, and, you know, Yahweh Shai in the kingdom, and now Esau gonna, after the first 1,000 years, Esau is gonna try to take us down again, which is nonsense. After the 1,000 years, Esau is gonna be exterminated, all right, pursuant to Obadiah. But beware of false prophets, man. That's why you cannot just believe anybody that says that they're Israelites. But you know, you can't just believe anybody that calls themselves Israel, or, you know, the flashy garments. Just because guy got garment with fringes doesn't necessarily mean that he's a man of Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, man. All right, you're supposed to be singing this song perfectly, all right, concerning the doctrine of Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, man. All right, but you have false prophets in the mix. This is 2 Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. So you got false prophets and false teachers, man. You know, adding to the doctrine, adding and taking away from the Bible, you know, putting their spin on it, trying to come up some other way. All right, it says, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies. All right, bringing in damnable heresies. This is a damnable heresy, man. All right, this is a blatant lie concerning prophecy. You know, also when other camps tell you that the mark of the beast is not the CHIP, that's a heresy, man. You know, telling you that you can sleep with your woman on the Sabbath, that's a heresy. The new moon being the full moon being the new moon, that's a heresy, man. All right, so it says, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon himself swift destruction. And that's what's going to come upon the IUIC, is swift destruction. All right, aside from the men, women, and children that come out of that nonsense, because you will have Israelites in the last days that's going to come out from these different camps and come under the true doctrine and the true way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you know, come into the body of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you know, not try to come up another way, not try to add or take away from the prophecies, but come in the correct way. There is a correct way to come into this truth, man. All right. But hey, these guys are false prophets, and the elders and apostles of the great millstone, these are indeed the men that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is directly dealing with concerning the doctrine, concerning the breakdowns, you know, the way things should be ran, all right, from the elders and apostles on down. All right, so definitely watch their videos. This video was from the elder Manata Zakba of South Carolina, GMS South Carolina 08. Bishop Nate, the rod of iron will prevent uprisings in the kingdom. All right, I'm gonna grab that scripture as well. So Yapa video, make sure to watch his video as well. All right, but let me go ahead and go to this because let me go to Revelation 20 actually, man, where the confusion lies through the lack of understanding, because there's 2 different 1,000 years spoken of in the book of Revelation chapter 20, and the first 1,000 years is going into the dark ages. Okay, when Esau was, you know, ran up into the caves over there in Europe, all right, and he was in servitude to Jake, all right. So this is Revelation 20:1. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and the great chain in his hand," all right. And the key of the bottomless pit is Europe. All right, because Europe is a bottomless pit. There's no resources over there. All right. And the great chain represents slavery. All right, because we had these devils at one point, we had them in servitude. They were under us during this time called the Dark Ages. All right, which was a 1,000-year rule. All right, the Byzantine Empire, you know, the 1,000-year rule where Jake was in power in Europe. All right. It says, "And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years," which is that period. All right, the Dark Ages. All right, and then after the 1,000 years was the Renaissance. All right, where Esau, you know, came back into power. He had the rebirth, you know, the iconoclasm. You know, he started changing all the images. Right. It says, so this first 1,000 years is going into the Dark Ages. All right. It says, "And cast him into the bottomless pit," Europe, "and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season." So the first 1,000 years in Revelation 20 is going into the Dark Ages. All right. Where Jake was in power. All right, Jake was in rulership, and we had these devils, you know, in servitude to us. All right. It says, "And I saw thrones," and now this is gonna jump to the 1,000 years when Yahweh Shai comes back. All right, and this is where the confusion lies. All right, it says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of the Most High, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads," the MOTB, "or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years." So this 1,000 years right here in verse 4 is going into when Yahweh Shai returns, and the reign of the, you know, the building up of the kingdom of heaven. After Yahweh Shai returns, you're going to have 1,000 years that it's going to take to really build up the kingdom. We're going to have the other nations in slavery. You know, they're going to be in chains for that 1,000 years. And then after 1,000 years, Esau is going to be completely eradicated. Okay. That's going into Obadiah. After that 1,000 years of Yahweh Shai reigning with the elect, Esau is going to be wiped off of the face of the earth. All right. So this guy talking about, you know, after the 1,000 years, then Gog and Magog. No, man. All right. It says, "But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. All right, and the rest of the dead is going into the other nations. It's not talking about Israelites. All right, it says this is the first resurrection. All right, so it said, but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. Right, because after the first 1,000 years in the kingdom of heaven, these nations are going to be in slavery, hardcore slavery. All right, but then after that first 1,000 years in the kingdom of heaven, Esau is going to be done away with. He's going to be complete. We're going to gather him up. He's going to be burnt. All right, let's go there, Obadiah. And then the other nations are going to, go back to their lands, and they're still going to be in servitude to us. All right, let's go here real quick. Obadiah 1 and verse 8. Obadiah 1 and 8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroys the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. And we know that Esau is the so-called white man. All right, so every one of them is going to be cut off by way of slaughter after 1,000 years. And that's that first reign, the 1,000 years reign of Yahushai. After that 1,000 years, we're going to gather the Edomites up, and they all going to be cut off by slaughter. All right, thus saith the Lord. So they ain't going to rise back up and, try to take us down. And no, man, that's all nonsense. That's heresies. All right, that's lies. So real quick, Micah 4 and 3, all right, going into the kingdom of heaven, it says, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. All right, this is in the kingdom of heaven. All right, so when the true Israelites, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, when the true Israelites are established in the kingdom of heaven by way of Yahushai, when Yahushai comes back and gathers us, nations aren't going to learn war anymore. All their weaponry is going to be turned into farming tools and things of that nature. All right, nations aren't going to be trying to fight against each other, and definitely nations aren't going to be trying to fight us. The elect, the hopeful elect right now, but whoever the elect is, they're going to have spiritual power, man. All right, they're going to have power to manipulate the elements like superpowers, man, like X-Men. So, they ain't going to try to fight us, They ain't going to have power to. All right, the Lord is going to give us that power, power over the nations. So we're going to have the manipulation of the elements. We're going to be able to manipulate the other nations, man. All right, to serve us. And they will serve us. All right. Revelation 2 and 26. And he that overcometh, all right, so the elect that overcome and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So the Lord is going to give the elect power over the nations. So what is this guy talking about? Let's listen to it real quick.
Tell us, release them. Let them go out.
So he said we're going to release them, let them go out. No, after 1,000 years, Esau is going to be wiped off of the face of the earth.
But then guess what? The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go out. And their job, Gog and Magog, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that
he said they're going to be building weapons again. But in Micah 4 and 3, it says, nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. This is in the kingdom of heaven. They shall beat their swords into plowshares. They're not going to be making weapons. And their spears into pruning hooks. All right, so all their weapons, they're going to turn them into farming tools and stuff, man. So this guy is going off yet again, man. Adding to the word, taking away. So clearly, this man is a false prophet, man. All right, and once again, just to be clear, Revelation 20, the first 1,000 years that's spoken of is the dark ages when Jake was in power. All right, Revelation 20, 1 and 2 and 3, the bottomless pit. The first 1,000 years that's spoken of is that dark ages. And then verse 4, it goes into, you know, the elect that are going to be saved with Yahushua, that didn't worship the beast, neither the image, right? And they reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. So this is 2 different 1,000 years, all right? Not the same one. That's why you need the understanding of the scriptures, man. All right? See, the scriptures, they jump. Especially in Revelation, you might read 2 scriptures and then it'll jump into the future real quick. And you got to have the understanding. All right? So this is Revelation 2:26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So the elect, the governing body of Yahushua in the kingdom of heaven, 1,000 years go on, we're going to have power, man. We're going to have power. We're going to have spiritual power. Nations ain't going to try to come up against us. They ain't going to try to fight us. They're going to be in servitude, all right? It's going to be a nation of gods, of kings, of priests. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I received of my Father, right? That rod of iron, that power, all right? This is Daniel 2:44, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom. So right now, the Lord is setting up the kingdom, all right, with the elect, all right? Each one of the elect represents a cubit, you know, the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. Each one of the elect men represents, you know, a part of the kingdom of heaven being established. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. So the kingdom right now is being set up before everybody's eyes. The 3rd temple is being built up before everybody's eyes by way of the elect, waking up, calling upon the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, learning the doctrine, learning the truth. All right. It says, which shall never be destroyed. So this kingdom that's going to be established, which is happening right before our eyes, this kingdom is never going to be destroyed. And even Yahushua said, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death. So there's men on this earth that, you know, hey, Yahushua said the kingdom of heaven is within you. All right, well, that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, that Holy Spirit is going to lead to everlasting life. And, you know, there's actual men that will never, ever die, never going to be destroyed. And the kingdom itself, you know, the kingdom of Israel will never be destroyed. We're never going to go back into slavery. We're never going to, you know, nations aren't going to try to come up against us. No, because we're going to have power, man. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. All right, stand forever. All right, the kingdom of heaven. All right, which is, hey, the kingdom of heaven is being set up before everybody's eyes right now, today. Brothers waking up all over the earth with the knowledge, the wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the understanding. All right. So this guy talking about 1,000 years into the future, we're gonna let him up, we're gonna let him go, and then they're gonna try to take us down again. No, that's nonsense, man. That's not according to the scriptures, man. All right. Jeremiah 51 and 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. The Lord's gonna make us his battle axe. All right, weapons of war with that spiritual power. All right, God-like power, power that the X-Men have, Superman. The Israelite men are going to have that power. It says, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. These kingdoms are going to be destroyed with the power that the Lord is going to bless us with, man. All right. It says, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. All right, so ain't gonna be no 1,000 years into the kingdom of heaven and then Esau gonna try to come up and overtake us. And no, man, once the elect get to the kingdom of heaven, once Yahushua comes back, that's it. No nations are gonna try to 1,000 years in the future try to come and take back the kingdom. No, man. All right, we're gonna have so much power, so much status over the nations, they wouldn't even dare. All right, they're gonna be beaten into shivers, man. They're gonna be in fear of the nation of Israel, of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, man. All right, so yeah, let's just listen to it and I'll close it out, man.
But then guess what? The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go out. And their job, Gog and Magog, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
Now, like I said in Revelation 20, where it says that Satan shall be loosed a little season, that was after the Dark Ages, okay, where Esau came back into power during the Renaissance. And, you know, we're in the little season right now, but his season's about to come to an end.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that latter years is now, but it's not based on Revelation 20. It's letting you know it's after when, brothers? 1,000-year reign. Go ahead.
All right, so completely going off, man. So with that, call hello, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. We are set up, you know, to defend the gospel, man, and this is absurd. This guy is waxing worse and worse, man. So, Lord willing, it was edifying to the hopeful elect. Call hello, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Till next time, shalom.